So, Matt, you better watch yourself. That's all I have to say. Well,
Okay. Here's the problem with free speech both ways, right? Can Trump say what he said, you know? And can the crowd say what they said? Yeah, yeah. But who ultimately makes decisions for you? You. Okay? Words alone, if you use your head, ain't gonna make me do something wrong, even if someone tells me to do it wrong. No. That's the problem, too. You can't do wrong just because someone else wants to do you wrong too, right? Or them wrong too, or someone wants to do someone else wrong, right? Whatever the situation is, ever, really, right? But if you do wrong, right, and you do make mistakes, again, that's another problem with freedom of speech and copyright law. They both are trying to do something that's not normally done. With copyright law, you're trying to write a bunch of movies or write a bunch of books, and you want credit for coming up with the idea first, but you're not the first one to come up with the idea first. You're rearranging it. How many Draculas has there been since Bram Stoker wrote Dracula? And again, how many different versions of it have you come out with since then, right? A lot, a lot. But why can you? It's a money making tool. Vlad Tepes is a real person, right? Anyone could have wrote Dracula too, right? That's the whole point, though. If I'm inciting you to violence, there must be violence already in you just by saying something stupid, right? You understand? And then the person is acting on their own violence, not necessarily someone talking about it. What's the difference? Intent. Intent. Again, let's go to Kevin Spacey and the bartender. What was going on there? Well, again, to work in a bar, you got to be 18 and older anyway. I know. And I heard Kevin was buying him drinks. Well, that's where he, as the bartender, has to tell Kevin, I'm 21. I'm not 21. But if he didn't, he lied by omission. When you lie by omission, you're not telling something they need to know. It's like with me and Gina, all right? When we go on the date and you're letting me pull your pants, shorts down and exposing your vagina to me, even for oral sex, right? You're not asking me like you're supposed to either how far I'll go with you, right? You're also not telling me you're waiting for marriage. That's omission of you are waiting for marriage. I did not know that. So I had sex with you because you did not say I could not, right? And I had been having premarital sex with 5 other women before I met you. I thought you understood that too, right? So I had sex with you, which you seemed to enjoy during the act. But then something changes when we're writing each other later on. That's omission, lying by omission. And you lied to me about how far I could go. If you had told me I only wanted oral sex, I would have only got oral sex. Right. If you had told me you were waiting for marriage during our intermission, right, and before the date, I wouldn't have went as far as I went with you. That's lying by omission. Not telling me what you were waiting for was marriage. And there's no way you could know that by reading my mind. Right. Plus, we're in the heat of the moment. You're not thinking you have to tell me, and I thought I was telling you about my sexual past, right? And that I was with 5 women before you. We started making out all hot and heavy. Then we went back to the ship, and I was trying to go down on you in front of the ship. And you kind of understood. But what you know, omitted was that you were waiting for marriage. You let me have sex with you instead of oral sex too. That's lying by omission. And what do I mean about we got our wires crossed too? You didn't understand fully what I was saying, nor did I understand what you were fully saying until I started talking about you getting pregnant in the letters. Is that when it dawned on you we had sex? I even saw you the night after and you seemed good with all we did. That's a mission that you were waiting for marriage with your church, whereas my church was trying to have sex with me and masturbate with me. Which is why when you told me your dad molested you, I thought we were kind of done with those kind of people. And you wanted sex with me too. Sorry. I didn't know. Didn't know during the date. Or after the date even. You never told me your personal feelings on marriage, right? That's what you gotta do before you go off with some strange man and let him pull your pants down. And your panties all the way down. I'm sorry I'm laughing again. But the thing about a mission is you're not telling me how you're thinking. I don't know. See, in your body language, you're saying, Jane, do what you want to do, baby. You're not saying no. You're not saying no. If your body language says one thing and your mind catches up later on, that's too late. That's too late. That's why I tell you to watch SVU, Sheena. You admitted that you were waiting for marriage. I didn't know. But you were willing to let me undress you to lick your vagina, and I was doing both, oral and sex. Sometimes I would just have sex. Without the oral. You gotta tell someone who's telling you I'm backslidden too, right? I'm coming from a Pentecostal type background too, right? But that don't mean we're exactly on the same page either. That's why you gotta communicate. With such sacrifices, God is well pleased. I'm not saying either one of us need this situation. Either. I'm not trying to make you more guilty than me or less guilty than me. But what I am saying is you gotta tell me something like that before you let me pull your panties down to perform oral sex on you. Or I might have sex with you too. And then you can't pretend I even know that. Then you talked about the woman who told you not to be with me. Well, you didn't listen to her either. That does be aware of him. Right. Be aware of the next man you meet. He might try to have sex with you, and you might inadvertently let him. But you were warned too. You didn't heed the warning like most people making any mistake they can make in the world, right? And then you tried to blame me, right? And that's why I'm worried about the child, if I got you pregnant or not. I know. Even with Daphne, it was under 40. I don't know. Right. But that's why all I can do is say, I apologize. I did not know you were waiting for marriage. You did not bring it up during the date. And I'm sorry I misread your singles. That happened too, right? And you misread mine, right? It's equally a mistake for both sides. No one's more guilty and no one's less guilty, right? Of doing the same thing. You thought I wouldn't have sex with you, but you didn't say I couldn't. I didn't know I couldn't have sex with you, but did. But you didn't complain about the sex. You liked it too. You let me put it in you and you seemed to like it. And I even finished with you. Right? We finished at the same time. It was a quickie. I know. And I did it in love. Not to just trick me or use me or treat me like shit like he did. Right. You sound like your dad half the time. I'm not your dad. No, you're not my dad. I tried to really love you too. No, you tried to really love me too and tried to fight for me like you said to. Until I couldn't fight anymore and then I gave up. And I did everything I promised you, even when we took the cab ride back that night. And don't tell me we both didn't enjoy that, and even after that. You were all Humpty Dumpty and still on the wall. Then Humpty Dumpty had the great fall when she realized she had had sex with him. And I went batshit. You went batshit. It's nobody's fault. We all fought, honey. It's not. I know. The church is Satan's little bitch right now. Not the way to say it. Not the way to say it. They're judging and condemning just as well as he would. I think they're the devil's advocate at the time. Not Jesus' defense attorney. But like I said, even when you got evidence against someone, I don't know. They want to screw me over again, right? And over again, right? When I'm not trying to do that, right? But that means you're more breaking the major laws than I am, right? You know to do good too, right? But you're not doing it either, so all I can do is forgive the sin of the sinners who are sinning against me, right? As I'm a sinner too, right? It don't matter if I have 500 and you have 1,000,000. Jesus frankly forgives us all. We forget that. I know. I know. But it's why I have to deal with you. Still fit. Honey. Whoever this is, this should be done. Long time ago. A long time ago. I should have even realized I should have kept making the right thing the whole time, or to leave you alone, or leave me alone. A long time ago. Oh no. And how many times does someone have to apologize to you and keep forgiving you your trespass against him till you realize you're the one really sinning like Satan and he's forgiving you like Christ? That's why I'm still here too, whatever you're pulling with me, and I'm not the one doing the more wrong, right? And Jesus can help those also who are following him more than those who are following Satan in this different degrees too, right? Nobody's as bad as you on your worst day. Probably. And anyone can be better than you. If you're not even caring. And you let your father's spirit of, what do they call that? When a parent tries to have sex with their child. Lot syndrome, I call it. Reverse Lot syndrome, because they're the daughters were concerned about the men around them. But you don't have that problem now. Right? Yeah, I know. The like with Joyce, like I'm trying to tell her, I was having my own issues in the church. I was not opposed to premarital sex. I read what Moses said about it, probably. And again, it's still in there whether I read it or not, and I found it eventually anyway. Whatever you want to say, all right? It does not say you cannot have premarital sex. But the father determined if you married her after the sex, right, or not. If she's unbetrothed. Were you betrothed, Sheena? No. I wasn't betrothed either at the time. We broke off our engagement before you went to see. Right. Mm-hmm. I know, we're all crazy. And me? And this ain't about me alone. I know it ain't about you alone. And I know if you're still doing that and trying to bring me, the girls are trying to get to me or whatever, you're allowing them to, not me. I'm trying to talk to them and reason them out not to do it either, but especially if you're doing that and I keep telling you, I don't even know who the hell they are. Like, and I don't. And your parents are going to do the same thing. That's why I'm trying to work with them too and explain it to them too. But that is the law, and there's no law, right, that says in Georgia anything other than what it says. Even though Miley was probably trying to get with Liam, was Liam trying to get with Miley? That's the problem, right? Or was he trying to wait for marriage? Right? That's the problem too. Whereas I told her I would feel the same way if I was dating you. All I'm saying, I'm trying to wait for marriage too, in a way. But I also know about premarital sex, right? but only if she left them and came to 185 Smith Avenue and fucked me. And they went back to them, and then they showed up, the entourage, right, and tried to murder me. And I healed like the Wolverine, like I told them. Am I still here if Molly did that? Not Molly, Molly. And I'm trying to date Molly, not Molly. And I'm talking to Molly. No, Molly. Molly. Does it seem like I got it straight? Yeah. Yep. I'm not even after Noah, right? Just don't even know if Molly did anything. But I know why she's in Georgia. She's Georgia. And she's a resident. And she's here for over a month. So guess which law applies? Georgia rule. Georgia rule. Right? Lindsay Lohan. It's Georgia law. Same with Brian Kemp. I don't know his wife. I don't know his $3. I stay home. But it is just an example. Mm-hmm. But it still don't mean I even met his daughters in my reality. But you're pulling out a shotgun with in one of your ads. What the fuck is that about? I know. It's a nice day to start again. Ow. White wedding. That's what I mean. And now I'm rested because I'm hurting. Like I told you, I do what I can do, right? Every day, and I show you how the medication works, whatever I'm taking. And I don't lie about it. I don't overemphasize it or underemphasize it. And I do need help cleaning up the house. And if you bring me one woman, and that only one woman, I don't try to do that only one woman. But if one of them wants to be with me, I don't know what to do about that. But she would at least be a barrier, if you understand me. And can run them off herself. That's what he means. I can't because I don't even know what's going on. Right? And see, the first thing you're going to do is discuss who it is, right? And when they get to the door, right? And find out what's going on with them, right? And that's why I got out of the holes like that. This is a girl. And I ain't going to open for it if it's a boy. Boy ain't even getting in. The boy ain't even getting in. So I'm still not lying. You're telling the whole truth. The truth you lost with Constantine, too. Right. Pastor David was just bringing them back to Constantine, but then still sexually trying to confuse them, too. Right? Yes, he was. Right, Bruce? Right, Edward John Thomas? That's what I mean. How fucked up is the man? I don't know either. How Jim Jonesy is he? I don't know. But if he's a Jim Jones type, he's a Jim Jones type, and that's why his ass went to jail. But if he's even telling the younger boys to masturbate and they're underage, right, can't do that either. He's exposing them. He's corrupting the minors to masturbate with each other. And then trying to pretend it ain't a gay act. When I never heard of that. Never heard of that. Being good. Ever. Growing up. In fact, I told you about Shane Sanders again. And the counselor even attempting it, right? With a 14-year-old boy. And I'm exposed to that myself, right? And like I said, that's why I don't know what to talk about. And when I'm watching SVU, I say, you could have blessed her, but didn't. Reason for that, too. I'm around it, too. Not just you. We're all around it. We're all around it. All around the world, same song. Something like that. It's really into, yep. In the spirit of Christ, not Christ himself. Somewhat. Probably a little watered down, you know what I mean? 2,000 years worth. But you're watering down my father and mother's word. Our father and mother's word, and you're following the devil easier than God. It's like you just want to be little Nephilims, don't you? And do what they tell us to do, right? That's all I know. That's all you know. You're listening like you're a Nephilim and keeping the secret of the Nephilim, right? Well, we know they're Nephilim now. Even aliens, right, kind of get the idea they're coming from a different dimension to Earth and they're not supposed to be here, right? They're the bad aliens, right? The good alien was Jesus, who came to a woman or even another hermaphrodite to be the Messiah of Israel. However he did that. She just wasn't with a man. fully. If you want to make it sexual, she couldn't be with a man. That's for those retards. If he was conceived through the Spirit, and the tree became an embryo, the tree of life, and God made Christ from the angel of the Lord into the lowest parts of the earth in Mary's womb, right? He went from angel of the Lord to what? Embryo. And grew in Mary, and became Jesus Christ, right? That's what, again, Satan's fighting his father and mother still, right? You can't be a prince without a king. So you can't be a prince without a king. And Jesus is what? King of kings and Lord of lords, glory, hallelujah. King of kings and Lord of lords, also the Queen of queens, right? And Lady of ladies, also both. That's why you're getting two male, right? And forgetting the female. I know. Even with the prodigal son and the brother, the older brother, right? You can't have either one without mom. That's why Paul told you, who's our mother? Jerusalem. Which one? In heaven. In heaven. She's the matter from which all matter flows. The Spirit made the body, is heaven and earth, right? As it is neither male nor female, nor your mother, male nor female. She's a matter, and he's the Spirit. Neither one is male or female. You try to feminize or masculinize it. Both of the its. Matter is in it, and so is the Spirit in it. That's why it made it through the Big Bang. There you are. All the matter in the universe. And what you can't see, and what you can't see. Even the little atoms in your universe, you can't even see those, but they're here too. They're too. They might make up you and everything around you, right? But there's deeper. The quantum realm, I guess, right? Things you can't see too, right? I know. But you can't do that accurately. You're in the fallen realm too, right? You've sinned with Satan. We sinned with Satan. We're all part of that sin too, and we all gotta confess it individually as well. I know. That's why I say you ain't even gotta come to my church, because I'm telling you the whole truth. But I'm teaching you without gain for myself, as Christ did too. Though even Christ had money, and Judas held the money bags, and the women helped him and provided for his ministry. Yes. Now the men did too. Anyone who gives to a ministry, right? That's legal. Well, I've been running this since I got my ordination since 1916, right? I mean 2016, right? Right. It was December, right? Right. I don't. Yeah. I'm not after even Amanda to be with me because I'm telling her the truth about it. Don't be with me, be with your boyfriend. But if you gotta be with me, we're stepdaughter, stepdaughter, right? That's up to you. I can't be with you, but I can't. We're not related by blood. Only a marriage to your mom, which was quickly annulled, or well, divorced. But I'm telling you, that will have consequences. Mm-hmm. From your mother, not me and you. I'm telling you, you gotta let me know if we do have a child, right? Because your mother wouldn't want me to know. Not because she attacked me at the farm necessarily, right? That could be someone else, someone on base, or Pastor Thomas and his crew, right? If I called them, if you called them. And I might not even mention all this to them in front, right? But told them and stuff. Though again, I didn't have my ID, right? But there again, they might could vouch for me to get through the gate. It all depends, right? So here we are again. Who attacked him? Someone on base or Pastor Thomas in the church, right? Because Daphne would be the last one he would call, really, right? He would either talk about it with the people in the front or call Pastor Thomas to talk to him because he talked to him in a while. Until he catch up. And I still didn't have a problem going out to the church to Manchester, and I'm one of the two witnesses, and sometimes iron sharpens iron, so I don't know. Sometimes you have to have an enemy in the church to realize what they're doing wrong so you can forgive them and show them the truth, right? Too. Mm-hmm. But you can't condemn them because then you're playing God to them like Satan does, and then you're no better than Satan to anybody. And so we're all human. We're all human. So Wendy's got a book out and all that too. Yep. But